Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to 15 Minutes of Fame. We have a special edition today. We have Miss Erika. She's back with us, who's normally with Make the Cut. Welcome, Erika. And then we have our guest of honor today, Miss Andrea Fairweather, the
Ooh,
Faces. Welcome.
thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Of
You
course.
look gorgeous. Let me.
Oh,
Gorgeous.
thank you.
And that hair is beautiful.
Oh, thank
That,
you. I
honey,
try. And you
that's
both look
gorgeous.
amazing as always
And
from back in the
everyone that
day.
Thank you.
Andrea used to have long, 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 long hair all the way down. So this is
Very long.
for me when I see her and she says, but it looks gorgeous.
Thank you,
hmm
honey. I appreciate it. Thank you.
So on this show, on 15 Minutes of Fame, what we do is we bring industry professionals in so that you can share your journey with people at home. So, Miss Andrea, I always ask, one of the first questions I always ask is, who is Andrea? So now, just give us a little blurb about who you are.
Okay. Um, who is Andrea? Well, I think a storm, a fire. I'm Aries. I find myself to be a leader, a visionary, a creator. Um, I'm one that's a risk taker, definitely. I'm a faith walker. I'm a prayer warrior. I'm an encourager, and I'm a wife.
Yay! Well said. Well, welcome
Thank you.
all of those beautiful energies to the show. Now, I met Erica and I met you at school during dance because Erica was a ballet major. I was a modern major. Now, actually, what was your major at High School Performing Arts?
I was modern too.
hmm
Yep, I was
Modern.
modern as well.
How did you get started in dance?
I started late. I wasn't one that started from a child all the way up. My mom wanted me to, and I just didn't want to take class when I was little. But one Saturday, I saw the film Fame, and I was about 12.
Mhm.
It was a rainy Saturday. I will never forget. I was in the house by myself. And I think my parents were shopping. And I just sat down quietly, and this film came on. And at the end, I said, goodness, if there was a school that was like that, I would love to go there. And sure enough, God said, stay and watch the credits. And at the end, it said, dedicated to the students of the New York City High School for the Performing Arts. And I said, hold it. And then I ran to my dad's encyclopedia set and looked in, and sure enough, it was right there. And when they came home, I said, I have an announcement. And they're like, what? And I said, I want to be a dancer and I need to start taking dance lessons. And my mother looked at me like, are you kidding? I have been asking you for the past 6 to 8 years if you wanted to take class. And I said, well, I'm ready now. And not too
Wow.
long after that, they got me enrolled, and I had about 1 year to get it together.
Look at
And I
that.
was pushing,
Wow.
pushing.
So you made
Yep,
it into the school. Do you remember like who did your audition? Like what was that about? Do you remember?
I do. Oh my goodness. I remember walking in, and at that time I was already studying at Ailey, so I was already familiar with seeing Miss Frank,
Okay.
but didn't realize that she actually taught at the school because she was in the Fame movie.
Yes.
Um, I walked in and I saw Peter.
Yes.
I saw Jardis
Mhm.
was there. Who else was there? I think Judine was there at the
I
time.
remember
Hawkins. I think
you.
Judine was there.
Wow.
And I remember walking in, and it felt like this energy just was in the space. If I could feel like the ancestors, it felt to me like a very sacred space. And the first audition was ballet. And I remember that there were so many people around me that were already like ballet divas. And for a second, I felt like giving up. Like for one quick second, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep my balance. And then we turned to from second into arabesque. And that's when my legs started dropping. And I was like, no, don't give up, because Jesus didn't bring you this far for you to give up now. Just hold on. Just let them see what you can do. And then I just kind of like went for it. I said, okay, I'm not going to do that. Let me just do my best, whatever my best is. And then I got a call back, And then when I went back, I was the very last one at the callback. We went through all these dances, and then I was just standing there, and they looked at me, and Miss King was there, Mr. Heath, Miss Johnson, Miss Zimmerman, Miss Joel. I remember all of them there, and Miss Frank, of course. And they said, well, you're the last one. And I said, well, I guess I am. And they hit the music, and I just went for broke. I went for broke. And then when I said thank you, I bowed, I grabbed my stuff, and I walked out. And then Jardis ran after me. She was like, excuse me, will we see you next year? And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, girl, everyone said yes on your application. And I was like, don't play with me. Are you sure? And she was like, no, I saw everything. They all said yes. I said, I will be here. And she was like, my name is Andrea too, but they call me Jardis. And I was like, I will be here, sis. And that's how it went.
Look at that.
Yep.
Wow. And you remember all of that.
Yes, I do.
Look,
I do.
Amazing.
that's
Wow. So
awesome.
after high school, Erica, you want to add anything to that?
I just feel like at the end of her dance that she whipped that ponytail around.
I did.
Yeah,
Did you come to the senior dance concert?
Mhm.
That's exactly what I did.
See,
Oh, you did it to
Miss
see-
King's class, her piece for the senior dance concert, she was like, you, Andrea, make sure you wear that ponytail and whip that thing. And I was like, okay, I will.
You got 6 months you're a senior, because we had a lot of friends in that class. So okay, so now you graduated from high school,
Mhm.
and now you have an option. Do I want to continue dance or do something different? What happened? What'd you do?
So at that time, I felt it was too soon for me to really make any kind of career moves outside of dance.
Okay.
To me, it felt like a lot of pressure where other friends around me that were in the dance department said, well, I'm going to be a lawyer or I'm going to be a doctor. I'm like, how do you know that already? Like, we're just like 17, 18. Like,
Mhm.
aren't you going to continue your dance career? And they said, no, we're not studying anymore. We'll take class outside. So me, I took the safe route, what was safe for me, and I ended up going to SUNY Purchase. I did not graduate from there. I only went for 2 years because I ended up suffering from a really, really bad injury. I fell on the dance floor one day. I was, exhausted, and I actually really shouldn't have been dancing, but I was pushing. I was up late studying the night before, and I went in, and it was a modern combination and a jump, and I love to jump, and I went up high and I came down wrong. And in the end, the doctor said it would have been better for me to just break the ankle instead of tearing up the ligaments the way that I did, because it was so severe. So I was like, okay, so, that kind of, I don't know if you've ever been injured in that kind of way, but it wasn't just physical, but it was also a mental break for me as well, because it started to, it hit my vulnerable spot that I didn't realize was there.
Mhm.
I never was injured before, so I didn't know how to handle that and process it in a way that, oh, you'll just get through this injury and then you'll be okay. I wasn't looking at it that way. I looked at it like it's over. Like,
Mhm.
you hurt yourself, and now what? So I went all the way down. And even though, I was a dance major, they required that you still, even though you're injured, you still have to go and at least watch the class. And I didn't even want to do that. I was trying to articulate to them that I was having a trauma, a post-traumatic trauma. I didn't have the word for it, and that I did not want to be there. And especially in the room that I got injured in, I need time to process, and they didn't want to hear that. So they said, well, if you don't show up, we'll fail you. So I would show up, but I was resentful
Yeah.
over it. And it started to then make me question, well, what can I do that I'm good at, that I won't become bored with, and that I could possibly do something to help others? And that's when the makeup started coming in. But at that time, like that was like 88, 87, 88. Makeup wasn't like the thing. That was like, I don't even want to say like a hobby. I didn't know anyone that was in the profession of doing makeup. I just didn't. You would watch music videos and everything, but I didn't even think that there was a makeup artist on set. So I ended up taking a business management class as an elective just to start to come off of the dance trauma that I was suffering. And I took a business management course. And at the end of that class, the professor asked us to create a business that, you know, was never done before, something unique if we could, and present it. And I just kind of flippantly got up there with my paper and said, oh, well, what if there was a business that, you know, a team of artists traveled to your location and they provided makeup, nails, hairstyling, massage therapy on site, and they worked around your schedule so you don't have to go to a salon. The team would travel to you and they do whatever you want. It would be for your weddings, your photo shoots, your special events, whatever you want. And that's it. And I sat down and then everyone looked at me like, girl, that's kind of fierce.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the class, the professor came over and she bent down and said, Andrea, if you can make that happen, you will be a genius. And I just kind of sat on it for, it was like a good 5 to 7 years because there was no business model of its type for me to ask anyone to mentor me. And I literally had to build Fairweather Faces Traveling Beauty Services from the ground up.
Wow.
From the ground up. And we were established in 97. So that just shows you the duration. That idea came in about 89 when I got the injury. So all that time, all the way until we incorporated in 97 is when we officially launched. So yeah, and we're still going.
That's
So I
awesome.
think Erica had a question
Thank you.
about if you make your own makeup, if you purchase it, right, Erica? You have
Yeah, like with your line, because I went on your website, which is beautiful.
Thank
But
you.
like, did you create, like, are these like your creations of your makeup? Are you partnering with someone? Like, how did you come about your makeup line?
Yeah, that was a pretty arduous task because I really just was happy with servicing clients and providing them the beauty services on site. I never thought of entering the arena of having an actual tangible product like a makeup line. But I was encouraged by one of my colleagues that I work with. At the time, we were working for Lara Spencer. We were doing Entertainment Tonight and Insider were our shows. And he kept telling me, he was like, Andrea, you know, every single time when we travel all around, we can't always be everywhere with her. And I had other clients saying the same thing. Oh, I wish I could take you with me or stick you in my bag and whip you out so you could do my face. And I started then creating like these small sketches of what to do, like apply the eyeshadow here, blend it this way, use this brush with that. So I was already writing the concept down, but not making it like an official formula or product. And that gentleman, his name is Greg Janillo, said to me, he kept pressing me. He was the hairstylist on the show. And I still work with him to this day. And he kept on me saying, Fairweather, you really need to create some type of product that teaches your clients how to create these looks that you're coming up with, because the looks are vast, but folks want to know how to create it if you can't be there or one of your artists can't be there to create the look. So that's exactly how we started first with, I'll show you. We started first with the, well, whatever, the face chart. It was the face chart screen.
Wait,
it was,
is this one? Wait.
yeah. So that's the pink pal, and that's one of the, it's pretty much, it looks like that, but the original face chart is just like coffee colors and just a standard look.
Okay.
And from that, I've created like a whole vest, like a deck of cards. Like if you flash them, it's like all these looks. And it's like, maybe at this point, we're like up to 47, 40, 50 something looks. And it's all these varieties of looks that I've created over the years that have been on television, red carpets, in films, music videos, weddings, proms, anything that you can think of. I've documented it in some type of way to be able to reteach the client how to do it for themselves. And then what partners with it are the brushes. And this is what makes it special. I became an inventor because I married the face chart together with a color-coded system of brushes. So you have these brushes, and if you notice, Erica, on your chart, you have dots.
Yes.
So that's the color-coded system. The red, yellow, green, and blue are our roadmap, if you will, of how to create these looks, kind of like a paint by numbers for your face. It's a very simple concept. It is taking the face chart and the brushes and just looking at the top down to the bottom. So it starts with red, yellow, green, and blue. And it's like a recipe. You follow it in that order, but you take the brush and you match it to the dot on the face chart. Wherever that color is for the brush, it matches to the dot on the face chart. So that's your area of concentration with the brush. You take a tissue, you wipe it off because the brushes are multifunctional. So you're not buying a whole slew of brushes. You're working like me and my team, like artists, and using the brushes for more than one purpose. And it's also picking up speed. So you're thinking and you're moving like your own makeup artist, which is what we do on a daily basis. And so that's what makes it so unique. And it is a patented system, and it's been patented 5 times over.
Wow. So then you have patented your special brushes that are also on your line.
Yes.
Okay.
So the face charts, the brushes, the color-coded system, all of it has been patented.
Nice work.
Thank you.
Well, we can't wait to see how it all works. So just in case you're wondering why Erika and I are barefaced.
Okay.
And looking gorgeous, honey child, please. Please.
From the queen, my Andrea. So you got you ready, Andrea? So the products that we have. This one we have a lipstick, which is what?
Belize.
Belize.
Yep. Belize, a hot pink, very hot pink.
And then
Date Night.
Date Night is the eyeshadow, the featured eyeshadow.
Erika. I don't even know. It's so funny. Okay.
And what I did for you too was I pulled the bare minimum for the look. Because sometimes you don't need, I mean, it's great to get the entire kit, but if you're like on a super budget, you need to see that you can still achieve the look, and it's doable, right? So I like to start with the face chart. If Erika can hold it up, please.
Yay.
I'm going to get the brushes. Okay. So I have my brushes here. This is the mini set.
Nice.
Very small brushes, smaller than my hand, and my hand is fairly small. Color coded, I'll show the bottom with dots, the crystals. Yes. And the crystals are what match the dots on the face chart. So that's what makes it so simple.
Now, who created that? You created the whole idea with the dots and the, okay.
Yes, exactly. Because we didn't want to insult the customer to do numbers like 1 and 1 and 1. That's fine, but that theory has already been done. We wanted to do something different and make you think like an artist and use color. So that's why we decided that the crystals would be the way to go and do it via dots on the chart so that the matching would be simplified.
Work.
Thank you. And so the first thing that you do is I asked you have a clean face and you have your eyebrows already etched out, which is wonderful. I love what I see. I like to introduce something to you that you probably never thought of, and it is a skin color corrector, and it's this. So let's say I'm a person that likes to wear less is more, and I believe in that concept even for my celebrity clients. Like to show skin, don't like to hide the face too much with heavy foundation and concealer. I like it to look like it's a targeted process, meaning you just take out the darkness, the puffiness, the redness, any marks on the skin, and then you make that thing look like butter. You make it look like breezy, clean skin, so that when they're photographed, especially on the red carpet and Zoom and Getty images, especially Getty is unforgiving. It needs to look like Picasso. It does not need to look like, oh, well, I have to have a filter to make it look good. No, we don't rely on filters. We rely on natural light. No filters.
So I have a question. I'm
Yes.
sorry,
Mm-hmm.
because I just looked at your makeup.
Uh-huh.
Do you also have a skin line, or is your skin line coming?
Uh, okay, child. Well, I am going to keep it really, really simple.
Okay.
I'm not going to move into foundations and powders because I think that in order, and this is just my feeling, in
Okay.
order to be able to move products like that, I really do believe that they should be in a storefront so that
Okay.
customers can come in and try them on.
Yep.
It's too difficult to move that kind of product when you're dealing with a digital platform.
Okay.
So I find that colors, lipsticks, blushes, contours, all those things are much easier.
Okay.
The color corrector is probably like the closest thing that it's not even in the moisturizing category. It's still considered a makeup.
Okay.
But for
Do you
me,
put that under your foundation with your
yes,
foundation? So how do
yes.
you?
And this is how exactly how we
Okay.
do it. So the first thing that I do is I treat it as if it were a nail polish. So I take it out and I just gently clean off the top, like I just wipe the top off, right?
Uh-huh.
Because you don't want it saturated. You just want a little bit on the tip. So this lasts forever.
Okay.
And then you go into your concentrated area, which is right underneath the eye area.
Oh, so that's why yours is wet and ours
Yep, I'm
is
just gonna show you,
dry.
this will show you how to save your concealer and foundation. I'm going around my nose.
Oh, now see?
Mm-hmm. And if I have, like, let's say any blemishes, I got a little something going on there. Any blemishes on the skin, I'm just going to dot it
Okay.
out. I put it back in and then I go for the first brush, which is the red dot. Right? The little concealer brush, really small, but it has a punch. And then you go to, I like doing doubles, which means if I can not use a liquid foundation on a client, I won't. I will use a cream, something that can double both as a concealer and a foundation. It just helps me with speed and it helps me to get a quick result without spending too much time blending. So I'm just going into the product and I'm going to target right on top of the work that I just laid down. So I'm not swiping, but I'm using a press technique because I'm extremely tired. So I'm just pressing it because I want to get the full coverage. And I don't want to wipe away my work. So I'm going right underneath my eye socket all the way up to my lower lash line, going right in it, all the way out, because at the tail end of the eye can sometimes get red. So I'm just patting it, but I'm not swiping, I'm pressing.
And that's your actual foundation that you're using now?
No, it's not mine. It's just like a regular, it could be any foundation.
No, what I'm saying right now, what you're applying is foundation.
Yes, it would be,
Okay.
well, it's really concealer. It's a concealer, but it's a cream.
Okay.
So it can double as a foundation.
As both. I got you.
Right, right. So you just want to press whenever you're working around the eye area. The only time you can really swipe is if you're having a great day. That doesn't happen for me often because I'm normally tired. So I have a lot of darkness sometimes and puffiness underneath my eyes. So that's why the press technique is really important to learn, because it does two things. The first thing is it marries into the skin color corrector, right? It's blending it. At the same time, it's giving me the coverage that I need to quiet down and cool down that puffiness, that darkness. So you can see the difference in both eyes, right?
Now, what are you using as an applicator? Because I know like sometimes people use their fingers. So like if I didn't have that, could I just use like my pinky finger? Like
you could use your pinky finger, not your pinky, it would be your ring finger, because
the ring finger,
lightest finger. But we really want you to start to use your brushes so you can get into the rhythm of how an artist, a professional artist works, right? And also you have better coverage versus the finger tends to wipe away the product and then you have to add. This is adding on top of and marrying the two together without eliminating the first layer of product, which is the color corrector.
Okay.
So I'm just doing, and you can ask me questions as I work. You're not going to mess me up. I'm just going to do exactly what I did and just match the two all the way. I'm just patting and pressing, coming to the outside corner of my eye, patting and pressing all the way up to the lash line. And I'm checking in the mirror to make sure, yeah, it looks good, that they both are even. And I'm coming just a little bit in here because like I said, I'm really tired. I just need a little tissue. I'm really tired today. So I'm just going to blend it up in the corner, only because I just needed like a little extra something in my socket just to open my eye up. And then after I finish there, I just take whatever's left over on my brush and I just go around my nostril. The reason why the nostril is important is because it normally has a redness. It casts like a kind of hue or darkness around it. And especially if you have a cold or some kind of illness and you still need to present, if you knock out this area, no one will know you're not feeling well because it just eliminates that redness, that darkness. I did one side, now I'm doing the same thing on the other side, and I didn't add more. It was just what was ever left over on the brush, but it's still that pat technique, that patting. It's just blending the two down so I'm not eliminating. So now I am going to go in because now I have to hit the skin. So wherever I applied it before, just so you can see, I'm going right over it. Still the pat technique, right? Because I don't want to eliminate it. I'm just marrying the two together until it drinks in. So it just, right? You shouldn't see it. It should just like drink in like water, just flow down right into the skin. That's when you know you've got it. And you just have to keep patting and pressing until it just drinks into the skin and you don't see either one and you don't see any marks anymore. That's when you know you've got it.
And which color is this again? I'm sorry. This is the
the skin color corrector, and the one I'm using is peach. It comes in,
which brush?
oh, it's the mini brush, the first one that's color coded in red.
Red. Okay, so this is the red.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm just doing the same thing, and I have like one more mark on my skin, so I'm just patting and pressing, and that's just my skin prep. So I'm along with you now. Like, you two look amazing, but my skin wasn't there. Like, I wasn't ready yet to start the full-on makeup process until I eliminated any marks that I had on my skin. So now I'm ready to go, and I'm ready in the area with you, and I'm ready to share the next tip. And if you notice, I have my tissue because you then want to tissue off
the brush.
In case you need to use this, because again, they're multifunctional in any other product or substance. You can use it with waters, creams, gels, doesn't matter. How we doing? Any questions?
No.
Nope.
Oh,
I need to, apparently I need to stop using my fingers.
It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, but we find that the fingers can tend to waste it.
And it does. It absolutely does.
You know, you find you're going over it numerous times and you're wasting product. But if you try it with the brush, it just lays it down like a paint.
Okay.
And it gives you the experience of a makeup artist.
Yes, ma'am.
How it feels using brushes, especially on yourself.
Okay.
So the next one is the yellow dot, which is the powder brush.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going right down the line, and most people will set, this is the time, perfect, you can use your own brushes. This is the time when most people think, oh, okay, I'll just take any powder and I'll set my skin. Well, we like to tell you that the thing you should be doing is a little drop of loose powder. You see how small that is? Tiny, tiny, tiny drop of loose powder. And then you go all over the face. So that means everything that you just worked on, you just pat it on, right? Those marks on my skin, I'm just going right over it. I'm patting. And this is to set. And then I'm also going to go over my eyelids, and I'll explain why in a second. So you're going over the eyelids, and all of that was with that loose brush. And, you know, it's totally up to you. Again, it's a loose powder. The reason why we use loose powder is because we want it to be like a veil, a breezy veil over the skin to really blend down the color corrector, your concealer or foundation, marry it all together so that you're ready to go and start to apply the colors so that the colors will adhere and blend easier on the skin versus grabbing in certain spots and locking in, and then you can't move or clean it up because it's locked in on the skin. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Great. And so again, I'm going to tissue off, right? And what was really important, like I said before, was going over the eyelid with the loose powder. And I'll tell you the reason why now, because we're going to the next step, which are the eyes, the eyes section, is because whenever you're wearing eyeshadow, if you're planning on wearing eyeshadow, you need to make sure that all of the eye oils have been eliminated first. You can always apply product that has like a kind of slip, a kind of sheen to it, kind of glossiness after. But the first thing is you have to have a clean slate on the eyelid so that when the eyeshadow is applied on it, it doesn't grab onto the oils, because it would grab onto, it will grab onto the oils of the eyelid and lock in. And then you can't blend it or even it out. It's kind of like like you have to start all over again because the oils are unforgiving. So that's why we eliminate them with the brush and the loose powder so that we can have an even base when applying eyeshadow. So now you two have your date night. It's time for date night. Is anyone having a date night tonight, a virtual one?
No.
This is it.
It's so shady.
This will be it.
No, we're not.
Like, no, not at all.
I'm gonna beat my face and I'm gonna come to your church.
All right, honey. Right, you'll catch you a man. I hear that. That's why you'll catch you a man, honey. So I'm just applying it to my hand just a little bit. You are so funny, Erika. I am applying it to my hand. So that's your date night, right? And that's dry. But I'm going to use just a drop of water, and I'm going to show you the difference. I'm taking my brush and I'm dipping it into just a little bit of water. And
are we getting water too, or no water?
No. I just want
to
show you the difference. So if you can see my hand right here, it has the wetness.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
how wet it should be, not
Okay.
too much. So now I'm going to dip it into the shadow, and I want you to see the difference of what happens. It just picks it up and gives it a sheen.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Right? So that's why I said, there are different ways you can do it. You can use water or a gloss or a sheen that's in a shadow, but this way it'll be nice and even and breezy. So I want you two to apply it dry, and I'm going to do it wet.
Okay.
So you can see the difference. Okay. So at this time right now, I want you to take your brush that has the green and blue dot on it, your eyeshadow brush. I want you to dip it in about 2 times into your eyeshadow, your date night, because you don't need a whole lot and we can always build it. And I want you to start wherever you're comfortable on the lower lid, as close to the lash line as possible. And I want you to just start blending it. The whole entire lower lid, as close as you can to the lash line. Oh, I love when it's wet. It's so fabulous. God,
It does go on smooth, guys. I just want you to know.
right? Thank you. Yeah, we tried to create a formula where it doesn't have a lot of fallout, which is so important, especially with these celebrity clients that we have. We don't have time and they don't have time. So we're like moving through, and the products really save us because there's hardly any fallout in the shadow,
While
which
you're
is
doing
really
it, shout out some of your celebrity people. Who do you work with?
well. Right now, our biggest person is Shahadi Wright Joseph, and her mother was a dancer as well at Performing Arts.
Yes.
Dina Wright Joseph. Yep. And Shahadi's Big show just debuted last night. And the reason why I'm exhausted is because I watched it starting at 1 a.m. and was starting to binge. It's called Them on
Yes.
Prime. Did you see it, Erika?
I did not, but
Honey?
it's on my list. It's on my
Baby?
list.
It is no joke.
Congratulations.
She plays Ruby, the daughter. No joke.
Wow. Okay.
that show is everything.
Yeah, it's on my list.
What was the
Yeah,
name of
it's
the
real
movie?
serious.
What was the name of the movie that was?
It's Them on
Them.
Prime.
THEM.
before Them. She was in the movie.
Oh, Us.
Oh,
She was in Us.
Us.
Jordan Peele's
Us.
Us.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. And she is
Shout
a
out to
force.
Tina.
She really is. So, and then I'm doing Good Morning America.
You gotta get her
And-
on the show. Yes. We're gonna
Oh yeah, it's gonna happen. And then I'm also doing GMA 3, which is the third hour with TJ Holmes and Dr. Jen Ashton. Those are my clients, so I get them ready.
see, guys.
Now, even on your website, you also had like celebrities on your website.
Yes. Guess who?
Tashina Arnold, like Tashina
Right.
Arnold also went to
Yep.
high school
Tashina
with
is my
us, so she
client.
had her.
Tina?
Isn't that amazing? From high school, that high school family that just comes back, reaches in and brings you in.
Can
I
I
love it.
Guess who I'm having next week?
T, you having Tashina?
You haven't Tashina?
Not that T. Tasha Jones. Miss
You
Jones.
are?
Yes. Yes, Auntie.
Love it, Miss Jones.
Coming on the show, so I can't wait for that.
Oh yes, and I'm loving what I'm seeing. The way you two are blending your shadow, I love it.
good. Oh, I got
Yeah,
it.
it looks really, really
I was
good.
trying to have
Nice
a
looking.
conversation like you act like, yeah, you know.
Oh, it looks fabulous. The only difference is yours is dry and mine is wet. So I just have a little sheen on mine, but
Can you
it's just giving you
Now,
like
I
another
have to,
option, but
and I
love what
told
see.
Dawn this before, I don't like eyeshadow,
Yeah, she told me.
But it looks so good.
but I'm putting it on because it's you and it's yours and but I usually don't. Dawn always wears so she knows how to apply it.
Well,
usually-
you do too.
But I don't like,
She
eyeshadows
was
scare
good,
me.
babe.
But what I like is I love this color chart. I like the color coding. So that I think for me will help me not be as afraid now,
Right.
because now at least I have the brush to match the color. Like
Yeah.
you said, it's very user friendly. So I
Mhm.
really appreciate that. And even someone with my background, like Dawn is right. I've done Broadway, but my brushes were not color coded. And we just went in and whatever we got, we got.
Yeah, you went for broke. Yeah,
went
you
for
had
broke.
to like kind of figure
But-
it out. Right.
Correct. But I appreciate like how it's just like, nope, 1, 2, 3. And it's like, get this brush. So I appreciate that.
Perfect.
nice.
Thank you for telling me. I appreciate hearing
Yeah.
that. And then you just take a tissue and you simply tissue it off before you move to your next product. Not that we are right now, but that will be the process because we did it with the shadow. But I'm really liking what I'm seeing, ladies. And the reason why we take it down, we start low first, is so that you have the power to take it higher if you wanted to do a smoky eye. But this look, the pink pout is a little lower and it's right where we are. It's just accentuating the lower eyelid, just giving it a little pop or a little sheen if you decide to go wet with it. And then now we're going to go for the humdinger, which are the lips.
Oh, sookie now. I got a story to tell.
Okay.
I will let you describe
Do-
the lipstick. and
Do
then
you
I'm
really have a story to tell?
Well, I just want to let people know how I applied it in the different levels.
Did you do it? You did the different levels?
Well, I kind of, yes, I cheated a little because I wanted to see.
Yeah, I love that.
Can I just say what I figured it was?
Please do.
One coat is like if you're going to Whole Foods. You're just like, I'll be right back. I'm going to Whole Foods. Your face is done. 2 coats, the girls are going out. That's like we going out. 3 coats. Girl, your man is taking you out. Y'all are going out on the date night with the man to match.
Dawn, you hit it. That's
that
exactly
right?
right.
It's different.
First
levels.
coat, you're exactly right. First coat is a popsicle mouth where it's just like, it's on, but you're not trying to be, Picasso. Second level means, okay, the color is down, you see the essence of it. But third is the humdinger. And that's when you're like, really, it's on. And just to let you two know that I use this Belize often on Tashina Arnold, and I do 2 to 3 on her. 2 to 3 easily. We never do popsicle. It's 2 to 3 on Tashina.
New
Then she'll
York?
hit the red carpet.
Oh, that you would fly there to go do her and stuff?
No, when she comes to New York.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, she has her other team out in LA, her other makeup artist, but when she comes to New York, she's so loyal. And so she'll have me do her. She's amazing. Always has been. So here we go. All right. So there's some tricks you need to know about Belize.
I have a question before we start.
Sure.
Because remember, okay, and I think sometimes old habits, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we first started wearing makeup,
Mm-hmm.
it's in the 80s, right? And so we remember we were heavy into like the dark eyeliner. And then when it came to lips, lip liner.
Yes.
Lip liner, is lip liner in right now? Is it out right now? What's going on with lip liner?
No. Lip liner is always in. It's just
Okay.
blending. It's just
Okay.
blending, especially depending on what the needs of the client are, because
Okay.
some have like a receded top lip, where
Okay.
the bottom lip may be really, really pronounced, and then the top lip just for some reason kind of recedes. So it's like an illusion. You have to use the lip liner first, and then you come in with the color after to balance it. So
Okay.
it really just depends. But this product, and I do usually use lip liner. That's a good point.
Okay.
I do normally use lip liner, but in this case, I just wanted to show you the beauty of the product, the strength of it, the shot of color that it creates, and the power that you have to accentuate the lips without using a lip liner.
Okay.
With it. So it's just a different kind of look.
Okay.
So the first thing is you want to, and the reason why it's named Belize is because my parents are from Belize. That's why it's named Belize.
All right now.
So that's just a little backstory.
Nice.
So we pull the product out just like we do with the skin color corrector. And you don't just then start applying. You want to clean off the head first, because this thing lays down like a paint and dries rather quickly.
Okay. Oh, there's a lot on there.
So you just, So you just clean off the head, and that sounds so dirty. Anyway.
Thank you.
My husband's
eyes are
like,
light. I was like, ooh, Belize,
I know.
popsicle sticks. PG, we got it.
So funny. PG, yes. So I'm leaning into the, you can choose wherever you like to start. If you feel more comfortable with the bottom lip, go there. For me with this, I start on the top because I like to etch out the bow of the lip. Yeah, that's just me, just to get it going. So go in.
I'm trying to do it again.
Yep. Just go in and start to create that bow. And check.
Okay, I gotta go back.
I was gonna say, I think I made mine too dry.
I'm sorry, Andrea. I know I wasn't.
No, it's okay. I'm gonna give you a quick tip right now.
I've been wearing
so, like I said, this lays like a paint. So you really have to be like very careful and steady with it. But once I create the bow, so I'll just show you. Once I create the bow there, then I start to hit the corners of the top lip. So I create the bow first, and then I start to open it up and hit the corners.
Okay.
And I'm coming all the way into the corner of my mouth. I'll explain.
I think I did too much.
Let me check where you are.
And I wanted to talk to you about that too. Now, you don't prep your lips before this?
No, you just go for it. Because this is the product that needs to go on a completely dry lip.
Okay.
That looks good, Dawn. That looks like a popsicle. You work fast too, girl.
Oh, she does work fast.
I'm not playing. So I'm gonna go back in and get some more product because I'm going to do the bottom to make the match. Erika, how you doing?
I don't know. I kind of hot.
Y'all are moving. Okay, I gotta catch up because y'all are doing it. And you remember to go all the way into the corners of the lip.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And I kind of smudged. I need some. Mine kind of went over a little bit.
I think I did it. Where's my, oh, that's on my
Over
right.
where? Over on your skin?
Yes.
Okay, I'll tell you what to do. Don't do anything. I'll tell you what.
Okay.
Oh, good. We have different shades. You have popsicle. I think I have the middle and she has pow pow.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for how. I'm gonna go full on.
She went in.
I'm telling y'all, it is the bomb diggity.
Oh, thank you. And what I like about it is it's not drying,
Snap.
but it's very comfy. It's a very comfy mat.
I want to get that color. Can I just keep going? I want to go to
Yeah.
date. Let me get the date name.
So what you can
I'm
do
trying to
is
get that color too. So just keep layering and layering. Is that all we're doing?
nope. So let me tell you what the trick is.
Because
At
mine
this-
is not getting darker.
No. I'm gonna tell you what the trick is.
Oh, there it
So you
is.
want to hold off for about a minute. Just hold off and let it settle.
Uh-huh.
You want to look at your lips and make sure you got the corners, and then you want to go back into your red brush.
Oh,
You want to go into the red dot brush. You want to then go into your concealer, whichever one you've been using, and then you want to etch out any mistakes around the lip. So most times it's like maybe one side is a little bigger on the bottom lip. This is for you, Dawn. This is where if you have a mistake,
yeah.
where you correct it while the product is drying down.
I see.
So you're not immediately just hammering product on it. You need to let it breathe a little bit. And so during that breathing time, I like to clean up any mistakes. So I'm using the small red dot brush and I'm just going right around my lip line.
That looks good on you, Erika.
Just to clean any.
I like it on you. I like it on, it's a really,
Our color. Can
It's
we?
a
Yeah.
real color for anyone. Yeah, it's a universal color.
All right, let me keep going. I want to get to there.
yeah, my color isn't getting to yours, Andrea.
So let it dry first because you want it to dry, and then
Well, I think I got the right color. It say Belize.
it is it. That's it. And so after you let it dry down, then you come back in again and you have to do the exact same process. So you take the color up. Can I see your product? Do you have Belize or is it the other one? Is it a lipstick or?
It's the,
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Okay.
mhm.
So you just clean off the head first is the first thing. Same exact process. Start wherever you want and go over it again and let it dry down. So this time, color is, that's when the color deepens after it's already dried down.
But see, you're
Uh-huh.
right, Erika. Look, mine don't look like her.
Mine either.
It has to dry down. Maybe the light is a little bright.
I don't know, but you look fierce.
Yours is major. Whatever you put on your lips is,
Yes.
or
No,
maybe
we're
it's your
using-
light.
We're using the same thing. It's just that
Okay,
the
but
difference is I really let it dry down first.
she's
You
a
have to let it
professional.
dry.
That
You're
is-
so silly. You have to let it dry first. And during the first phase of drying down is the time when you take the red brush, the red dot brush, and you clean around the edges to make sure that everything is even, because with this particular product, it does not look good if you have jagged edges. It has to be really, really clean on all angles so that you can really see the beauty of it. And then if you want more, you do the same exact process. After letting it dry down, you open it up, you clean off the head, and then you go again.
About how long does this product last?
Oh, it's gonna last a while. I don't have clients re-up, maybe twice a year they re-up. So yeah, maybe twice a year they re-up on it. So yeah, I would say every 6 months, if that. It really just depends also on how often you're using it.
Don't you like the way it dries, Erika? Can you tell?
I do, but I want the color that's on her lips.
I know.
You know what I think it is? I think it's the lighting. I think it's the light. You're so funny. I think it's the
But I do
lighting.
like the color. Like even on my lips, like I like the color.
Gorgeous. It looks amazing. It doesn't
Like
matter how
the way it looks in the
they are.
bottle. And this is what some people, because sometimes when you do go purchase a product, what's in the bottle doesn't transfer to your lips. But what I will say is what's in this bottle does transfer to your lips.
Right.
And so I love that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And the great thing too is that the product lasts a long time. So you can eat and drink and you don't have to worry about, oh, is it still on? Yes, it'll be on. You just have to take it off.
Is it kissable for date night?
I'm
It,
telling
it
you.
it's kissable, but I've never tried it in that way, depending on what kind of kiss. Look, depending on what kind of kiss you're giving out.
Lord have mercy, they're gonna cancel me. Okay, so what's next? Okay, now we got date night on.
Yep.
Did four or five coats, right?
Yeah.
Now, my question is, what
Mhm.
now that that's dark, what would you suggest that's in your line that we could purchase next to upgrade to do like the smoky and to go a little further, get more dramatic?
Right. That would be the multifunctional contour. So this is the contour.
Ooh,
And the color I would say for the two of you is this one, contour number 11.
number
Right there,
11.
Contour number 11, because what this will do is a couple of things. It will help to chisel out your cheekbones. It will help to narrow down your nose line.
Mhm.
It will help to, if you have like a full forehead, it will help to
Definitely.
bring it down and just etch it out.
You mean this thing right here? This
You're so
big
silly.
old forehead.
Stop.
You just bring it
It
up.
will.
Security.
So silly. It will help to etch out your jawline. You can create your jawline with it. You can also fill in your brows with it. Sometimes on Chahadi, right, Joseph, I will use it as an underliner to smoke right under there for her. I always use it as a base to go over her eyelid before I start applying eyeglosses or other eyeshadows. I always use number 11.
Okay.
So
now
this
we
is
have
a great one to get.
So now here's Erica had another
Number
question about
11.
Sure.
we're gonna let you go soon, but she just had another question about the
Sure.
lighting, Erica.
Which one?
The lightings.
Yes.
You
So
should-
right now, because we're doing so many things with like say TV and film and now virtual, and just like you were saying now with lighting. So when it comes to like makeup, and especially for like with Dawn's audience, we have a lot of these and they are future performers. And right now, a lot of auditions are virtual. So how do we transfer like that makeup, like makeup versus like this camera versus when we were in person
Right.
is a lot different. So how are, what would be your advice for that? Like, how should we be doing our makeup? What works, what doesn't work, what pops, what doesn't pop?
Yeah. So let's say if it's, are we talking about a dance audition or an acting audition?
Okay, so right now I'm talking about Erica and I.
Right.
Okay. So if you were auditioning and speaking to someone on like a Zoom, something like that.
Or right now, even for the show,
For the
right?
show,
Because like we've been doing this show. So like, what should be our makeup for a virtual show like this, like our social media platform like this?
Right. Okay. So two things. The first thing is I would say, if you were to get, well, actually, Erica, you got it. You got the original face chart besides the pink. Did you get the brushes? Did you get the brush? Okay, so don't worry about it. So
no, but I'm gonna get
if
them
you were to
brushes
get-
because
if
I
you
need
were-
them. I need the
Okay,
brushes. So we're
so
gonna get
if
the
you were to
brushes.
get- right. If you were to get any set of the brushes, and I would say you could get the mini set because you could still, knock it out the park with the mini set, which is the one that I demonstrated with. Along with that, you would get the original face chart for free.
Okay.
And that is the chart that shows you the very first look that I started creating on like Lara and Tashina, which is all coffee colors.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's
yes,
the original face
that's
chart.
exactly it. Right.
Okay.
And it's all coffee colors. It's a look that can be used. It would be perfect for your Zoom presentations.
Awesome.
It's perfect for anything. It could be perfect for a brunch if you're attending a wedding, a date night, anything, because it's a clean, polished look that uses universal colors, coffee colors.
Nice.
That's the first thing.
Okay.
The second thing is, I would say when you start pulling in your pink pow, this type of look is, if you're doing like a kind of presentation, like for me, like this was more like a spirited type of thing. And we knew that it was going to be animated. Yes, you would do it for this. I wouldn't do the pink pow so much if you were doing, let's say a board meeting.
Gotcha.
I think it would be a bit too much. where the original face chart will save you always. But something with an electric lip like this is a very special event. So
Okay.
tonight, yes, it's perfect. If you were going on a date, absolutely. If you were going out on brunch, or at some point we're going back to Broadway to the
Right.
shows, absolutely you do it then. But
Okay.
you hold back on these electric lip colors when
Okay.
you're doing business meetings.
Okay.
Yeah, you hold back. But I do have one client, Adrienne Bankart, who does a lot of social media, and she's been wearing Brooklyn, which is the sister to this, in orange. It's like an electric orange. And she's been doing news programs because she's really confident in wearing it. So, you know, it's also the spirit too, if your spirit can handle it. And for
Yeah.
you two, you definitely can. You know, but she's on ABC News with this
Doing it.
popping orange, and I'm like, oh, I'm like wanting to hit the floor every time I see it. I'm like, Adrienne, she's like really rocking out in Brooklyn. That's the name of the color. And it's a popping orange, the sister to Belize, which is the pink. But you know, she's doing news, but she's careful about what news story. It's not like she's doing George Floyd
Gotcha.
with a
And
popping
with the
pink.
orange.
Right, with
Gotcha.
a popping orange, right. It's a little more subdued where she's doing the original face chart for that. And then if she's doing a fun piece, a spirited piece, will be Belize. So that's the difference.
Okay.
Well, we
Mhm.
want to thank you for coming on. Now, you gave us a
Thank you so
full
much.
tutorial, but now I'd like to go to share the screen so that other people, if they want to have a fun virtual class with you, oh, where was it? That's not it. That you can tell. So while I'm looking for us, just tell us about
Yes.
how we can find you and what what you're doing.
So Fairweather Faces, once Zoom came in, Fairweather Faces was always doing these online, private and group makeup lessons. Since COVID hit, we really had to pivot and go virtual in ways that we really didn't think possible before. So we realized that as a unit, we needed to open up and really develop this online presence that we already had, but open it up in a way that we never really just did it with brides before. We never really did anything behind the scenes on television sets, and now we are. So we had
Nice.
all these various events, online events that you can go to fairweatherfaces.com every week. It's going to
Can you
change.
guys see this?
So
Wow. Every week.
if you see an event that you feel like, oh my gosh, this is for me, you need to book a ticket, because some are private and it's just one ticket purchases, others are groups. So we have a big one coming up at the end of the month, which will be me doing a live demonstration of the 5-minute face, which is the original face chart.
Okay.
And I'm going to take it top to bottom. I'm coming on completely barefaced. I'm taking it top to bottom and showing you how to create the look, the colors that are involved, the matching on with the brushes and the face chart, the whole thing at the end of the month. And so
Okay.
that's a group event, but we also have for brides.
Ooh.
Sometimes brides get stuck and they're like, they really don't know. It's like a shot in the dark. Which look will work for them on their wedding day? So we are here online to design it for them. We don't necessarily have to be the makeup team to do it. If they have their own artist, great. But if they want us to design the look for them, we got them covered.
Nice.
Also, you may have someone that only has like possibly 15 minutes, but they have either puffy eyes that they need to learn how to conceal and control, or they need to know how to etch their eyebrows for their face shape. Well, we have the quick tips that within 15 minutes, we just keep turning it over, turning it over, turning it over. And that's a private event where we come one-on-one and we talk to you about your own face. And in 15 minutes, we'll give you that quick tip. So it's very exciting that we're doing it this way, but I'm actually glad that it is happening, because it's giving us a whole different audience on the virtual platform.
Right.
There you go.
That's awesome.
Very, very proud of you. Continued success. Before you leave, what is your website for the people?
The website for the people
Yeah, yeah.
fairweatherfaces.com.
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome.
Get your stuff, guys. Look, pretty hot date night.
Get it, get it,
And you
get
two
it.
did great as my students tonight. Beautiful.
I am
Wonderful
so
questions,
excited.
everything.
A PG.
Sorry.
So yeah, Erika was the bomb with the questions. She's like, I want to know this. So
You did great too, Dawn.
Dawn always does great. She's awesome.
thank you.
You know
Always.
what? PA did okay.
Right.
Shout out to performing arts
Shout out
That's
to
right.
performing arts.
and networking and
Networking.
And
I have one last question. I'm sorry, not last, because but I do have a question.
Sure.
From listening to your story and hearing about how you went from performing arts and then you went to college, you had your injury, right? What would you say? Not only to, because again, this is a good example once again for like dance teachers or teachers out there, like when you have mental health, it's so essential, especially for all of us, but especially women, right? Just to clue in on that, because excuse me, that was heart-wrenching to hear that here you were as a student and you were reaching out to these teachers and explaining to them like, hey, I'm suffering here, and how no one listened to that. And I think we really have to learn how to be advocates for ourselves. And I'm glad now there are certain platforms, but just, kudos to you for being able to get past that, because some people would not and could not, but you did. So really kudos for you for being able to get over that hump, because PTSD is not an easy hump to get over alone. And yet you did it, and you did it brilliantly. And I'm so excited for you and so very, very proud of you, sis, for being able to do that.
Oh, Erika, thank you so much, hon. I thank both you and Dawn for this platform. I thank you for allowing me to share my story. I didn't do it alone. I'm telling you, I had Jesus guiding me the whole way, and I had my family's support completely, because once that injury came, they were right up there to help me. But yes, I didn't have the language back then as we have now, but it is extremely important that you speak your truth. And when you need help, you have to reach out and you have to tell others. There's no shame in it.
Nope,
There's
none.
only strength in speaking the truth about where you are in that moment. And it's a moment. That's the thing. It's a moment that will pass.
Yep.
So you just have to hang in there, but you have to ask for the help that you need. And just surround yourself with positive people that can lift you up and encourage you, and so you can make it through.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
thank you for acknowledging that.
Absolutely.
beautiful. Well, my sisters, thank you guys so much.
We
This
did
is Andrea Fairweather Faces, and we love you.
it. Absolutely.
Thank you. Next week, I think we have Tasha, Miss Jones, guys. So hang out for us for next week. Miss Tasha Jones comes in from the Breakfast Club. We're so excited to have her. Erika, final words. What you got?
That's it.
That's it. Andrea, final words. What you got?
My final words is that I am so glad that my two sisters from performing arts dance department that always looked out for me. I did not forget. You two of you were always encouraging, always supportive, never bullying, just right, always checking in with me. And I always remember that. And I thank you so much. And I jumped at the opportunity to be on this platform. I didn't even hesitate. I wanted it. So thank you so much for pulling your sister in.
Yes, you're in the family. 15 minutes of fame with Andrea Fairweather. Thank you guys so much. See you soon.